I'm Elke, actually my real name is Elke, and I'd like to introduce you to an author who I feel actually does not need any introduction, James Patterson. This is a book that he co-authored with Mark Sullivan, and it's in his private series. This one is private Berlin, as I would call it, Berlin. I like his setting in the private series that takes you from New York to London to Paris and now Berlin. I'm generally a literary fiction reader, but in my spare time I love to read thrillers. I'm a fan of James Patterson. You could call me even an addict of James Patterson. I was raised and I grew up in Germany, but I have never been to Berlin myself, and I hear many good things, and I know a lot of history, especially after World War II. The city was divided into two parts, from East to West Germany, divided by a wall that was up for 30 years. The whole of Germany was actually divided by barbed wire fencing, and that's what I grew up with. Well, let me introduce you to the main characters. We have Chris Schneider of Private. Private is a high-stakes detective agency. And Chris was born and raised in East Germany, but works in Berlin for the private company. He is hired by Agnes, and I give you the German pronunciation here, I have a hard time which way to say it, but whether I say it in English or in German, Agnes Krüger, who hired Chris to check on her husband, and she wants to check on all his extramarital affairs. We also have their son Rudy, who is really against capitalism, and his dad is a billionaire, so we have that. We also have a Brazilian soccer player. There's also his model Brazilian girlfriend, Perfecta. Other characters we have Hauptkommissar Dietrich, the main chief inspector with his stern German precision, and his protege Weigel. And of course we have the most important man, the bad guy in the story, the Invisible Man. Is he invisible, or who is he really? As a little aside, the Invisible Man has been a main character in literature by H.G. Wells. Here we have the quote: "A gripping and entertaining tale of terror and suspense, as well as a potent Faustian allegory of hubris and science run amok. The Invisible Man endures as one of the signature stories in the literature of science fiction. A brilliant artist uncovers the secret to invisibility, but his grandiose dreams and the power he unleashes cause him to spiral into intrigue, madness, and murder. The inspiration for countless imitations and film adaptations." The storyline is pretty simple, and I try to only give you the bare bones because I don't want to reveal the plot. While tracking Chris, they come across a slaughterhouse in former East Germany. And here again, I cannot help thinking of Slaughterhouse 5 by Kurt Vonnegut. We come across a Waisenhaus, which is an orphanage, and we come across a lot of motherless children and the man in the mask, who is the Invisible Man. If you're of German ancestry, I'd like to hear from you to see how you received this book. If you're not of German ancestry, I'd also like to hear from you to see how you liked it. If you had any problems, I don't think you would because it reads as a thriller, but if you have any question on history, language, you know where I'm at, you can come and ask me. And in conclusion, I want to say, where in the world will you take us next, James Patterson? Rome maybe? Tokyo?